Hello YouTube world, my name is Lauren and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you guys the books that I got during the month of February 2024. You'll notice that I don't have any stationery to show you guys because, true to my word from last month, I'm curbing the amount of stationery I buy this year just because I have so many and I don't use them as much as I buy them. So I'm trying to be more financially responsible this year and buy less stationery. Now, before you judge me for buying so many books, these are all used books, so they're not full price, and about half of them I technically got for free because they came from my apartment building's little library, and the other half were pretty cheap for being used books. So the first couple of books that I'll show you guys are the ones that I got for free from the little library in my apartment building. So all four of these books I had never heard of before. I have no idea what they're about. I think I just read the little summary of the book, thought it was interesting, and took the book. But this first book is called From the Jump by Lacie Waldon. It looks like a contemporary romance. Again, I know nothing about this book and I already forgot what the summary in the back of the book says. I think it's about a woman who is having a hard time with life or with her love life and decides to go on a vacation with her friends. I'll leave the summary up here. You can pause to read the back of the book if you want. The next book I took is called The Japanese Lover by Isabel Allende. I believe this is a bit more on the historical fiction, like a historical romance type book. To be honest, this is not exactly my style of reading, like this genre of books. I mainly got it more from my mom, who reads a lot more historical romances, but I figured it sounded kind of interesting, so maybe I will give this a read before I gift this book to my mom. Okay, this next book is called Kiss Her Once for Me by Alison Cochrun? Cochrun? Not sure how you pronounce her name. But this is a Book of the Month book. It came out in December of 2022. I believe this is a LGBTQ romance. So it's a romance between two females, but I believe it's almost like a love triangle or marriage of convenience. Between a woman and a man, but she's truly in love with his sister or something like that. Again, I will leave this summary up here for you to pause if you want to read about it. And the last of these four books is Romantic Comedy by Curtis Sittenfeld. This is also a Book of the Month book. It came out in April of 2023. Again, I do not remember anything about what this was about. I believe it's about some people who are in show business. And of course, it's a romance. Yeah, so again, these were four books that I got for free from the little library in my apartment building. I'm pretty open to reading different kinds of books. I'm not too picky as long as it has a romance in it. I usually don't mind what it's about, as you can tell. But if you guys have read any of these books, let me know maybe which order I should read them in, like if I should prioritize one of them, if you recommend any of them. I am very open to hearing all of your opinions. Okay, next up we have the 4 books that I did purchase, but these are all used books, so I got them at my favorite used bookstore, BookOff in New York City. 2 of these books were only $1, so as much as I would love to gatekeep BookOff, I do want to let as many people know as possible about this bookstore because it has such good deals and they buy back books. So if you have books that are in good condition and you want to make some money by selling them back to a store, they buy used books and it helps keep the circulation of used books. So this first one is called Now a Major Motion Picture. I got this book for $1, which is so funny because I was just reading about this book online as I was researching contemporary romance books to read for the upcoming St. Patrick's Day holiday. This book has nothing to do with St. Patrick's Day as far as I know, but it came up just because it's based in Ireland. So it's about a girl who is on a film set for a movie that's being filmed in Ireland, and of course a romance ensues, the male lead of the movie. Okay, next is the other book that I got for $1. It's American Panda by Gloria Chao. I read 2 of Gloria's books already, so I've read Rent a Boyfriend and When You Wish Upon a Lantern, I think it's called. This, I believe, was her first book. To be honest, I've put off buying this book or reading this book, even though I love Gloria Chao's books, just because I read the summary and I wasn't too interested in what this book is about. But again, this book was only $1, so I figure since I love Gloria's other 2 books that I've read, I figured why not give this one a chance. And I know she has at least one other book called Our Wayward Fate, so if this book is good, then maybe I'll give Our Wayward Fate a chance as well. Okay, this next book is The Kiss of Deception. It's the first book in the Remnant Chronicles trilogy by Mary E. Pearson. This is a little bit more on the fantasy side. It's a romance fantasy, and I did read this book very recently, but I read a borrowed copy from the library as part of a fantasy kind of reading challenge that I'm doing with my friend. But I really enjoyed this book. So when I saw this at BookOff for only $5, I knew I had to immediately pick it up, especially because I like this cover better than the new version of the cover that I got from the library. Even if you're not into fantasy, I feel like this book isn't too heavy on the fantasy. There are some fantastical elements, but it's very much more rooted in the romance and the storyline, I guess, between the main characters. Alright, and this last book I got is One Day in December by Josie Silver. I just read this book in December because obviously this book is appropriate to read in December. And I really enjoyed this book. I believe I gave it like 4.75 stars on Storygraph. But of course I have book amnesia and I didn't take too many notes while I was reading this book, so I honestly can't remember why I gave it such a high rating. So I knew that I wanted to read it again and take better notes this time, just so that I can remember what this book was about. I also bought it because I want to try annotating the book as I am reading it, so that I can gift this book to my friend because she really wants to read this book and I had recommended it to her after I read it in December, but again, I can't remember why I want to recommend it to her, so I want to annotate the book and gift the book to her so that she can read it this upcoming year in December and she'll have my notes as to the things I liked or reacted to. It's my first time annotating a book, or it will be this year, so if you guys have any experience writing inside of your books or annotating your books, let me know if you like it or not. I'm a little nervous to do it, but hopefully I'll enjoy it. I heard it's fun, and you kind of get over the fear of like writing in the books very quickly. Oh, and I almost forgot. There was one other book I bought at BookOff this month. It is called Demon in the Wood, and it is a Shadow and Bone graphic novel. So again, as part of my fantasy reading challenge with my friend, I recently read the first book of the Shadow and Bone trilogy, and I absolutely loved Shadow and Bone, like way more than I thought I would, particularly because I fell in love with the Darkling in the book. I'm not going to give you any spoilers because I think everybody should read Shadow and Bone, but the Darkling is my favorite character. So when I heard that there was a graphic novel detailing his origin story, I knew I wanted to buy the book, and I was planning on buying the book, you know, full price from Barnes & Nobles or Target, Amazon, wherever. But it just so happened that I was in BookOff looking at the graphic novel section, and they had this book for $4. So I was able to get it used, but it's like a brand new copy. Like, I feel like the person who sold this book did not even read it because it is completely brand new in mint condition. So I'm so excited to read this book because I am 100% in love with the Darkling. So again, these are the 9 books that I got in February 2024. I am so excited to read and reread some of these books. If you liked this video, I'd appreciate it so much if you could like and subscribe, and stay tuned for my future book haul videos. Alright, bye!